Hello guys, this is NKZStryker Nathan here, and welcome back to my Unity Evolution Guide of Age of Empires 2, and welcome to the Age of Chivalry. It's night time. The Middle Ages saw the rise of heavily armoured mounted warriors known as knights. A person granted knighthood was considered a class of lower nobility, and was given land in return to serve his lord in battle. Knighthood was a very long process. You become a page at 7 years old, where you were taught skills like hunting, reading and writing. A page could become a squire at 14, where you become the personal servant of a knight. Finally, at the age of 21, a squire was ready to be knighted. Knights did not just fight wars. In peacetime, they took part in tournaments. The most popular was jousting, a sport where two knights charge at each other with long, blunt lances to break the lances on the body of their opponent. But, peace aside, knights played a significant role in medieval warfare, as they charge often broke lines of infantry armies. An armoured knight on a stallion charging towards you was a terrifying spectacle if you were the enemy. Magnify this 1,000 times and you get an army of them. However, the introduction of gunpowder in the 16th century made knights obsolete. There are 3 heavy cavalry units in the game: the Knight, the Cavalier and the Paladin. Heavy cavalry are the elite fighting force of many civilizations, as they are heavily armoured and armed with plenty of HP, attack and armour. Their amazing abilities to wipe out infantry, archers and siege weapons are totally unmatched, from the Castle Age to the Imperial Age. On top of that, they are decent raiders, with speed and pierce armour on their side. But despite the knights' apparent ferocity, the usual cavalry banes do apply. For instance, the spearman line can destroy hordes very effectively if they are massed up. Camel units pose a greater yet more expensive threat, being an anti-cavalry cavalry. Monks are also a major thing to deal with. Even so, the Light 9 is an exceedingly popular line of units to go with in all matches, noob or pro. In the Castle Age, knights are available to be created in a stable for all civilizations, except of course the Aztecs and the Mayans. Knights typically start off with 100 HP, 10 attack, 2 armor and 2 pierce armor, making them a very powerful unit in this age. But knights come at a hefty price, 60 food and 75 gold, so it is really crucial that you do try to keep them alive if you can. Nevertheless, this cost is completely worth it. Knights dominate the battlefield because on 1-on-1 they can take down almost any unit in the Castle Age. Long swordsmen, light cavalry and many unique units will find it difficult to face a knight alone. Even a large group of 15 crossbowmen stand little chance against 5 knights. They are also pretty good at raiding your opponent's economy, for example, killing off villages and denying resources. This is helped by their moderately high armour, so that they can tank town centre arrows easily. Knights may not have the agility of light cavalry, but they certainly do the job well. Being stronger than their lightly armoured brethren, knights are able to withstand much more punishment, and few units can truly stand up against a knight. The decision to create knights can depend on whether you're playing 1v1 or big team games. For instance, in 1v1, transitioning from archers in the feudal age to knights may not be as cost effective as getting the crossbow upgrade, but a fast castle is certainly worth knight production. In 4v4 team games, pocket players commonly create knights rather than any other unit to help with their flank friends. This is because knights have the speed to travel vast distances very quickly while maintaining their power, making them much more effective than light cavalry. Knights are weak against the spearman and the camel line, so ideally you should not try to engage with an army with either of those units mixed in with them. Camels are a bigger threat than pikemen, as they can chase down knights far easier than any infantry. Therefore, in an open battle, knights alone may suffer heavy casualties against any anti-cavalry unit, so a group of crossbowmen to accompany them can make this combination a lethal force indeed. However, a large enemy army consisted entirely of crossbows may have a critical mass to shoot knights down volley after volley, especially when backed into a small corner. So knights are useful in wide open engagements, especially in maps like Arabia, but small choke points in Black Forest will always attract units with overwhelming firepower. Monks are also a great counter to knights. While knights may not be the slowest of units, they are expensive to create, especially in the Castle Age. This means that only a small number of maybe 5 knights are usually produced at a time to raid an enemy economy. and because of this small number, it becomes easier for monks to convert them. Monks can convert knights without too much hassle, so in attempting to engage them may result in several conversions, which is always not ideal. A converted knight may be 60 food and 75 gold lost to you, but it is also gained by your opponent. Therefore, as soon as you hear the sound of a monk trying to convert, you should either try to back off instantly, or if you're close enough, try to take down the monk as quickly as possible. After all, knights have a base attack of 10, so 3 hits and the monk will be gone. Bloodlines and husbandry are 2 important technologies that could be researched, as they'll make your knights tankier and faster. As with the blacksmith upgrades, forging and scale barding armor could be researched in Feudal Age, while iron casting and chain barding armor is available in Castle. After the Imperial Age advancement, the Cavalry Upgrade is available for all civilizations apart from the Saracens. This upgrade is unusually cheap for an Imperial Age upgrade, costing a mere 300 gold and 300 food. Of course, with this amount of resources, you could create another 4 knights and still have 60 food left over, but this upgrade is definitely worthwhile. Cavaliers have 120 HP, or 140 if Bloodlines has already been researched, a base attack of 12, 2 armor and 2 pierce armor. Cavaliers are not a very common unit if the Paladin upgrade is available to the player's civilization. They are more frequently seen being used by East Asian civilizations, as they do not have Paladins available. We usually see the Paladin research very soon afterwards, since Cavaliers can be upgraded in the same age. The cost for the Paladin upgrade is very high, 1,300 food and 750 gold. But Paladins are the ultimate units in Age of Empires 2. Statistically speaking, no other standard unit has the power of this heavy cavalry. With 180 HP if Bloodlines has been researched, 14 attack, 2 armor and 3 pierce armor, along with perhaps a few other additional blacksmith upgrades already researched, Paladins are very difficult to defeat. A team of just 10 can raid very effectively on an enemy's eco. Villagers go down extremely quickly. A post-Imperial Paladin can kill a villager with Loom in just 3 hits. The extra 1 pierce armor gained from the upgrade makes them even better at raiding to reduce arrow damage. Although Paladins are generally not so well known for their raiding abilities, many players continue to do so anyway. In addition to chopping off the heads of villagers, Paladins are a great combative unit, the strongest in the game. Paladins are regarded as the most powerful standard unit and possibly even the best in the game. They defeat infantry, from champions to eagle warriors, archers, from arbalests to skirmishers, and lesser cavalry very easily. No other unit can take on this variety with such cost effectiveness. At this time, monks are less of a threat against Paladins, as it is likely that there would be too many of them on the field to make a conversion very worthwhile. Even so, if your enemy has monks on the field, it is probably essential to research faith from the monastery to make it harder for them to successfully convert your Paladins. There are 2 major ways a player can counter a Paladin army the most efficiently, with an army of halberdiers or heavy camels. Both these units have anti-cavalry bonuses, making them very lethal to both light and heavy cavalry. You do not want to lose a costly army against one that requires fewer resources to create. With the Imperial Age upgrades Blast Furnace and Plate Barding armor, Paladins will gain a further +2 attack, +1 armor and +2 pierce armor to make them stronger against units. The Franks are the most ideal civilization for a night rush. Their knights have 20% more hit points than normal knights. Although they do not have access to bloodlines, the 20% increase means that the Frankish knight will have 120 hit points anyway, the same as a normal knight with bloodlines. Therefore, in a Castle Age, the Bloodlines research is basically free. This means that you are able to create 2 extra knights with this saved resource. But things get more interesting in the Imperial Age, where the 20% increase becomes more prominent. A Frankish Cavalier will have 144 hit points instead of 140. A Frankish Paladin will have 192 hit points instead of a maximum of 180. It is also worth noting that Plate Barding armor and Blast Furnace is available to them, so they can fully upgrade their Paladins with all of these important technologies. Additionally, the farm technologies for the Franks are free, so food can be produced more efficiently without having to research the upgrades, saving both time and resources which could be used to spend on night production. As a team bonus, knights gain +2 line of sight. Other good heavy cavalry civilizations include the Persians, the Teutons, the Spanish, and the Huns. Knights are a great general purpose military unit. They have plenty of health, attack, and armor to withstand a lot of punishment, whether it will be from the form of swords, arrows, or even rocks. Being a horse unit, knights are also very fast, though slightly slower than light cavalry. However, knights cost a lot to produce, and production of knights can seriously take a toll on your economy and your time in getting to the Imperial Age, and may even hinder villager production due to costing food, which could be invested back to the economy. Knights are vulnerable to the banes of cavalry, although they are far more resistant to them than other cavalry units. From the Castle Age to the Imperial Age, battles are likely to be dominated by heavy cavalry, a crucial part in your army. The Castle Age is the Age of Knights, where many battles are commonly dictated by the role of powerful mounted units. Although small numbers of knights are usually produced in the early Castle Age, they can wipe out most units very effectively. Cavaliers and Paladins are the result of upgrading in the Imperial Age. Paladins in your base is definitely not a good sign, especially considering how strong they are against town centre fire and castle fire. The only ways to deter them are with halberdiers and camels, while suffering heavy villager casualties on the way. A good civ with great paladins could be a dream come true for you, but for your enemy, it will be their biggest nightmare. Thank you very much for watching this episode of my Age of Empires 2 Unit Evolution Guide. Join me next time when I'll be looking at the camel line.